All right. Go!
This Parks.
Microphone check 1, 2. What is this?
Parks on the boards.
Yes. All right. So what do we have here? We have on the Wayne Masters selling.
Oh yeah, we got some inside scoops.
Maul went and did some research, called up Sylvia and them.
Hit Tez real quick.
Yeah, you know, something
Nah, that wasn't nothing like that. Hip Hop called me because he had heard the show, so he does that from time to time. He'll call in with like certain facts about things we talk about,
tidbits,
and he just kind of broke it down.
We wrong.
Yeah, he just kind of broke it down. But it was like it was what we kind of figured. Wayne doesn't own all of.
He sold his
Drake's
portion.
He sold his.
Well, we didn't
what
think,
he owns.
We didn't think that Wayne solely owned all of Drake or Nicki's stuff.
No. But it's less than what I think people would probably think it is.
So he sold a fraction.
Yeah.
For $100 million. That's
Well, over $100 million.
What does that change?
I'm gonna say
a lot.
yeah,
What does
for
it
me.
change?
I mean, it changes the perception that he owned more and probably deserved more, which I still think he does.
We were saying that he probably deserved more before any reports of the Drake Nicki stuff being
just
included. Just him, we were saying he deserved more.
Without a doubt. But there's legal things and paperwork and contracts that weren't or were signed, and we don't know the logistics of his business dealings.
We don't know his splits.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was good to hear that it wasn't as much ownership as I probably thought it was.
Sure.
That's all. And then he doesn't. I don't think Wayne owns his masters either. So
I doubt it.
Then how'd he sell them?
Well, he sold the Young Money portion.
Yeah.
I think was what the report said.
yeah,
And he was cash money.
of what he owned,
From what
the
I
percentage
understand.
of what he owned from Young Money.
I guess.
I mean, listen.
I still think even if he owned Young Money and how joint ventures usually work, and he was under Cash Money, I still think $100 million is too low for the portion he would own of his music, Drake's, Nicki's, and Tyga's.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah.
But it is good to hear that it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Because I didn't even want to entertain it at first.
Why? He was invested.
No, it was just like, damn, I hope like he didn't make a bad deal like that. Because we heard that he didn't even talk to his lawyer or man. Like we was hearing everything when this shit first came out. I'm like, nah, I don't even want to feed into that.
I don't believe anything that I hear or read about the music business.
That's a smart.
I don't believe anything.
That's a smart way. That's a smart way to approach it. Yeah, I'm not mad at you on that. But I'm saying when you speak to people that have business dealings with these artists and they give you more insight, it is like, oh, okay, it's a sort of sigh of relief. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't as bad, or it isn't as bad as I thought.
It might be a decent deal. And also I could see, like, you always talk about how you would never want to have artists because then you have the pressure of maintaining their whatever. I could see being like, you know what? Let me cash out of this and get away from being the guy that owns a portion of all these people's shit.
I agree.
I could see
just
that.
not with Drake and Nicki.
No doubt. No doubt.
Or me being Wayne.
Yeah. But no,
No
we
doubt.
said it, but Joe spoke to it, like he said, he spoke to it earlier this year about Wayne deserving more
Absolutely.
than what he's probably receiving because of his influence, because of what he's ushered into the culture and things like that. And I agree with Joe 1,000% on that.
Funny you said that, Parks. With the, because I never really thought about it, but with the devaluing of music as of late, I am starting to see less and less of the decline. I am starting to see less and less of the people that have an artist.
What do you mean? The artists
Like
that have artists?
a vanity
In
label.
the
type of thing.
90s and last decade, everywhere you went and whoever you spoke to, you were guaranteed to meet somebody with an artist.
Yeah.
The cosign was big, especially in 2000s.
Yeah.
And now, not so much. It feels like. I could be wrong because I'm out of touch, but it don't feel like that. Even on the chatty house, I mean, I'm listening to people talk. There's not so many people saying, hey, I have an artist.
Well,
Hey, check this out. It's not.
I think because of
It's more so the
independence.
artists. It's the artists now saying, "Yo, check me out.
Independence.
Yo, I got some music. Yo."
Independence.
There's a lot more lanes now. There's a lot more lanes to,
You can do it
get
yourself.
some bread.
Yeah, you can upload your own shit and get your own LLC. People know the game. They've learned from previous artists and their stories and their business dealings. I think that's dope, though. You know what I mean? I think a lot of that shit in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, with labels giving artists labels, and then the artists making their homeboys head of A&R. These niggas know nothing about me. I think that fucked up a lot of shit.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of people that got put on through someone else that we didn't need to hear music
Absolutely.
from.
Of course,
for sure.
But I
Absolutely.
do feel like outside,
There were some gems.
Well, that's the game.
Yeah.
That's the game. Like this morning, I was just reading. I think the Baby has a label situation now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he introduced his lineup of course, all North Carolina niggas that he knows and fucks with. And I was just reading how he felt about him, and I was like, well, yeah, he's that guy. He falls into the criteria of people that should be given a shot to put his homies on. And
Absolutely.
Here we go. The Baby introduces the artists on his $1 Billion Baby Entertainment roster. The $1 Billion Baby is distributed through, well, I'm assuming the same label he's on.
most likely.
It doesn't say, but I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
Baby's what, Atlantic?
Nah, I don't think so.
Interscope.
That sounds a bit more like it. And he is now, this label is distributed through, I'm just going to guess Interscope.
It's a reasonable guess. Yeah. Since they distribute like a third of.
Well, I mean, not totally necessary because when Ross was on Def Jam, they didn't give him his joint venture. He had to go to Atlantic.
True.
Well, that was a mistake.
You think?
I'm not going to harp on all the mistakes that they've maybe made in the last 15 years, but
It's
I'm
a lot.
sure that was one of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of mistakes.
Congratulations to this man.
Yeah,
Congratulations to the Baby, every artist on his roster. Does feel good to see. Let me get a round of applause, fam.
Yeah.
That's good news.
But no, I still think this is prevalent in the hip hop world now. Like your Dreamvilles, OVOs, and TDEs are still in that realm. QC. I do feel like that cultural black exec, like Dame, Irv, Rough Riders, like that, I kind of wish was more active now than it was.
Well, you just named 4 big labels.
Well,
that
I mean, outside of
do
QC,
that.
they're rappers. I mean, well, I guess Top Dog isn't, but for the majority,
Dreamville's got some alternative stuff.
no, I mean, who owns like Cole,
okay.
Drake, Kendrick is signed to that, but
Got you. I see what you're saying.
you're like just the sole, like what QC is,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just a sole exec. That's all you do, and you have an ear for that shit, and you know how to promote that shit. And artists can just be artists on that without having to just constantly think about the business. And you have the right person that can go and fight with the majors or whoever you're partnered with, the way an artist may not want to because they're a creative and they're working on fucking music. Like the way Jay could be in the studio and Dame could go fucking scream on everybody when something was wrong.
Right.
That's an important thing. I
Yeah.
feel like, because I mean, even like, for example, if the Baby's artists have a problem, he's still signed to that label too. It can become somewhat of a conflict of interest when you don't have someone, and he may, I'm just for conversational purposes. I suppose your manager could be that, but you are still the head of your label. So yeah, it can really cause some friction. Like, I think that's why we saw Jay stay with Def Jam, because he didn't rub everyone the wrong fucking way because he didn't have to.
But now that I just heard you say all that, now I'm in support of the way that Rick Ross did it, though. Because if I'm one of these artists, not one of the Baby's artists, but if I'm one of the acts that is being put on by the bigger act at the same label, I probably would push for, no, nigga, sign me somewhere else. Because that's a different building with a different staff,
Different respect for me.
different beliefs.
That's the Wu-Tang model.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
invested in my big bro, and they might put the whole building behind me, and I might have a runway to be more successful than the person that signed me
Sure.
or found me.
Yeah.
I would want that.
And it kind of
Isn't
played
that what
out
happened
that
with,
way
like,
to some
Ross and
degree.
Meek?
I was going to say, it kind of played out that way with Meek.
Meek is not Meek if he was on Def Jam.
It may be true.
I mean, I don't know, but
Yes, you
it,
do.
it was definitely helpful.
10
that-
minutes ago, we was talking about all the mistakes they made over 15 years. We do know what Meek would have looked like if he was on Def Jam.
Well, Meek and
He would've
early
had
in
a
his career
run.
had some real undeniable records that even any
two-
label couldn't fuck up.
You mean like 2 Chainz?
Sure.
Oh.
Touche.
That's why it's hard. It's hard not to to fuck with Rick Ross or like Rick Ross, because when you just look
I
at
didn't
the
know
way
you felt like that.
when you look at the way he when you look at the way he handles business and the way he is with his artists, like he doesn't he gives people their own space.
He's godlike.
You know what I'm saying? Like he is though.
He's made in the image of Christ.
We all are.
See?
Absolutely. But
Happy birthday.
yeah, he does a good job of that. Like a lot of people, you know, they'll hear a record from the artist they signed and they're like, well shit, I could take that and make that my new. Ross doesn't seem like he does that.
Valid.
It's like Live over there, because the perception may be that even right now that Meek is bigger than Ross.
Right now, I think that's a pretty fair statement.
I don't think so. Me personally, I don't think so, but that could be the perception. And that's, to me, that speaks more to Ross's getting out of the way of his artists.
Don't look at me, you
and
argue
their shine.
I'm not arguing.
Hey, when you don't look at me, don't gaze me in the eyes.
Let's do it.
Mr. Boom Bap.
Let's do it.
You tell him how we feel.
Do it.
Well, Meek currently sells more records.
Meek is
than
bigger
Rick.
than Ross right now. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I think Ross would even want it that way.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a slight. Meek
But
is
why
in
do you feel
year 9 or whatever year he's in, and Ross is the elder statesman.
But why do you feel that though? Let's just for conversation.
Why do I think Meek is bigger?
Yeah.
Meek sells more
Numbers,
today.
presence, back to that presence word.
Performance.
Meek's presence today.
He's aligned with the kids. Like he fucks with younger artists. He gets on younger artists' shit. He stays relevant to what the conversation is at the time.
He looks cool.
Okay.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I'm just listening. I just like to listen to the thoughts, to the
He looks cool.
perspective.
He's such a fucking loser.
No, but by that criteria, would we you don't feel like that? No?
Hotter.
Okay.
Meek is hotter.
What did we say?
Bigger. Pause.
If Meek and Ross put out an album January 2021 on the same date, who do you think is selling more?
What's the first single?
No first single. Both just dropping out.
I think Ross.
No.
No.
I said I think Ross.
Well, you're thinking is
And I
wrong.
love Ross, but
Okay. I love Meek. I love Ross. I'm just saying, this is all point to Ross's ability to just let his artists, like, yo, fam, eat.
oh, he's been brilliant at that.
Eat. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of dudes don't do that.
Yeah.
When
Yo,
they see
Ross
the
don't care, man. Not don't care about
I know
Meek,
what you
of
mean.
course.
I know what you mean.
Ross
I know
don't
what you
care
mean.
nothing about what we saying, man. Like, he is so thorough in business acumen and just move in a certain way. And I think a lot of that sauce is on Meek.
Yeah.
I think Meek just does it in a Meek way now. But Ross is just as cool as the other side of the pillow, man. He don't care.
True story.
He reminds me of Fat Joe in so many different ways.
It's the same cloth. You can see certain things when artists or people speak and they talk, that they have certain beliefs and certain things that are alike. Like,
I'm sure some of that lineage got passed around fairly
absolutely.
directly
Absolutely.
as well.